Today I am going to give some presentation about MSMQ and how we are going to consume using WCF service. So first we need to verify whether MSMQ installed on this computer or not. So for that we need to go control panel. So we need to go turn off Windows feature on or off. After that it already enabled. For our presentation purpose I am going to show it to you. So this is the MSMQ component in IIS in Windows. So we need to, if it is not selected, we need to install these features: Microsoft MSMQ Server, Core, and Active Directory Domain Service Integration, HTTP support integration, and multicast support, and MSMQ DOM proxy. So the so these may not required for all, but for our demo purpose I have selected everything. And after that we need to select. If it is not selected, we need to select the WCF service feature in .NET framework for framework advanced service. We need to enable this WCF service and activation, message queuing, MSMQ activation. And after that, in computer management we have the computer management. So I'll go again. Next step is computer management. We need to create one queue, private queue. So I will tell you how to do that. In computer management there is one component called service and application. In that we have the message queuing. So this is in message queuing we have types of message queues, and so then we have private and public. So right now I'm using private. So in private, if you don't have any queues, you can right click and new and private queue, and we need to give your name as per requirement. So testing. So at present I am not going to select any feature, just I am giving the very basic about MSMQ, so that I am not selecting any features on this. So it has created. After that we need to go to properties. So if you want to see what is the messages are coming in this queue, so you can enable this one, so that you can see all the queues under this testing name, under this testing queue. You can see all the messages if you select this journal. In security, you have to give the you have to add a proper user account here, otherwise the message queue won't work. So since I am administrator in this computer, so I am having complete permission on this. Otherwise you have to give your own account. It should have the proper permissions to read the MSMQ. Otherwise MSMQ won't work. This is the steps you need to do as part of creating MSMQ. So I will remove this one. This is for testing. So this is already I have created with same features. So I'm going to utilize this queue for our demo purpose. So here I have given the everyone since I'm not expecting any authentication, so it is anonymous. It is everyone can able to access this queue. So I have given permission to everyone. So as part of MSMQ creation, so these are the steps we should perform. There is one more service. There is a few service we need to check whether it is running or not under the services. under the service, if you go for MSMQ components, these two components should be if it is not running, we should start these two components for MSMQ, MSMQ queuing, MSMQ queuing triggers. So it should be running always, and we have named. So in this our MSMQ, I'm going to utilizing a net MSMQ listen adapter. So if it is not installed, you need to install, and you need to start this service. Say this is one of the most important to listen our MSMQ reading and sending and reading. So this is the important MSMQ listener adapter. It should, if it is not start by default, if it is not started, it should be start and running mode always. So these are the means mandatory things you need to taking care for MSMQ. So now we'll go for the Visual Studio. We'll start we will going to create the WCF service, and using a name net MSMQ binding with MSMQ binding. So we are going to see how we need to send message using WCF service. So I'm using Visual Studio 2015. So it should be always run as administrator. So as part of my learning, I already created two services. So the for this demo, I'm going to use those two uh, POCs. I'm going to present in those two POCs here. So as part of my development, I need to create the brand new MSMQ. So I'm consuming my service through console application. So this is my service. It's still not loaded. It's loading. So this is my WCF service. So I have given WCF service 1. So here few things is not related to MSMQ. So these are the related nlog. So I have used as part of my requirement, I need to use nlog for a logging purpose using MSMQ with the WCF service. So that's where you find some related nlog code. But so I'm going to explain those things my coming session. So for now you can ignore that. This is my class. So I'm going to inheriting that one of the interface provided by the as discussed nlog. So as part of MSMQ, it should be always be uh, that our operation count should always be is one way true, otherwise it won't work. So the operation contract should be always it should be always one way. So that flag we have to set while creating service for for MSMQ, and this is the method I'm going to consuming. So this is related to nlog. You can ignore for now. Now I'm going to go for what is the bindings I'm using for this MSMQ. So this is the binding I'm using, net MSMQ binding for the in WCF, and contract. So if you are aware of the WCFs, so you have to give the endpoints. You have to create the endpoints. So my address is this one. My address is, just now I created the private queue. Name is my queue, and my service name, as I discussed, this is my service. So I need to give the same name here, and with private, and it should be localhost. Suppose that if, so we have to deploy that in this service to IIS. So I'm going to, after this I'm going to explain about those things. For now, you can see this is my URL, my address of the MSMQ. It is private. This is the name. This is the name of my MSMQ queue. So so this is my address, and this is my binding. So net MSMQ binding is supporting for MSMQ, and the remaining things are common. This is my binding configuration. So if you see my binding configuration, this is my exactly once. There are some few things for security and so configuration for MSMQ. I'm not going to go into deep that for this demo. So I'm not going to use any security. That's why I make it none and none, and exactly only one time it is going to be triggered. So this is the settings, and you are aware of that. We have to set our service HTTP get enabled true, otherwise metadata won't be created. So it is mandatory to enable our to consume others to consume our service. We have to set this property true. It has true, so I'm removing one. So this is my bindings details, and this is my implementation for that. And now, so we have to have deploy the service to in IIS, otherwise MSM due to protocols, we have to set for the protocols, otherwise it won't work. Now we will go for the IIS. So from here you can deploy our service directly to IIS. So I think you are aware of that Visual Studio feature. So this is my virtual directory name in IIS. So using this we can create. So now we'll go for IIS. So in IIS, so this is my website. Under the default, this is my website. So if you want to develop deploy our service in IIS, there is some mandatory things we have to set. One is so application pool, you are aware of that. It should be integrated with 4.0. If you see for a demo, this is the properties we have to set for an application pool. And in advanced settings, so we have to give this enable this protocol to our website. So otherwise our MSMQ won't listen if you don't give this proper if you don't set this net.msmq in our website, it won't work. So it is mandatory for enabling MSMQ for this website, net.msmq. We should provide this. And so you know that we have to give proper user accounts, as I mentioned here. You have to set proper user account here, otherwise MSMQ doesn't work. So I'm using built-in application pool identity. Suppose if this account is not sufficient for our things, so we can set our own custom account here, so that MSMQ, if you means if you deploy this MSMQ in remote server, if some client is calling MSMQ, say, I mean sending message MSMQ, this account is capable of able to read that messages, so that that message, so you should have proper permission to read that message. So this is one of the most important. If you don't give the proper account here, our MSMQ won't able to not able to listen, read the MSMQs which clients is sending from the remotely. Please remember that. For time being, I'm using application pool identity account. So this is IIS level changes. Let me go and run this one whether it is working or not. Let me rerun this application. So this is the my website. So let me go and click this one. So don't bear, please bear some time. My system is slow. My service is working fine. Let me go and try to see the description language. So it's responding. So this is my queue address. So my service is ready. Let me go and see how we are going to consume this. As I mentioned here already, so I'm using nlock. This is from this feature, from this nlock we can able to call the WCF service. So at normally we can go and use this feature. So we want to consume, we have the service reference, we need to give the we need to give the address here, and from there we can create the object, we can consume the service. So this feature, I think you are already aware of that. So let me go and see what is the configuration for my client. So this is my endpoints and this is my endpoints details, same information here. So the address is this one, the same address I am using in server, net MSMQ binding, and that MSMQ, this is my bindings details, security mode none. So once you took the reference from service reference, so this is the settings will get automatically added. And so in this demo I'm using nlogger to call my service. So otherwise you can so in our regular service we can create the object as I mentioned using service reference. From here we can call the So let me go and do that one also here. Yeah, as I mentioned already, so I'm using nlog here to consume this WCF service. So I think everyone is aware of how to consume the WCF service using service reference. I'm not going to deep into that. So this is the settings for client. So these are the endpoints details, config details, so address and binding and contract as I mentioned. So here I'm going to consuming my service using nlog. For understanding purpose, I will go and give something about nlog here. So in nlog, this is the logging purpose I'm using. So I'm saying for nlog, this is my binding details. These are my service. So whenever I am trying to call you, just go and get the details from this and call this following service on the server. So that is the so I'm setting here those details and target. Also in target I'm saying this is my uh, uh, name of the target, and I'm saying log receiver service. This is one of the type in nlog. So these are my settings. One way should be true always, and this is endpoints. This is endpoint configuration name in here. So and after that I'm saying that call whenever I'm trying to access error as a level error mode, call this remote service I'm saying. So in my program, so in program I'm saying I'm hitting a log level error. So whenever it hit this log level error in nlog config, it is going to uh, take this logger and is going to hit this service. So this way we can so I'm going to give a detailed session on my next post. So for understanding purpose I'm giving some high level details. So since here I am trying to consume my service using MSMQ, and my service already running. And if you see that what I am logging is I'm logging this information, exception level information in a file. So these are the information I am logging at present using MSMQ in a file, e log file. At present let me go and see how so this is e drive. I don't have any file related to log file. So at present if you see here my MSMQ, at present we have around 665 now queue messages are there. If I try to hit, it should be increased 666. Let me go and consume my service. So I am purposefully creating an exception here using divide by 0. Let me go and put debug my services also, whether it is hitting or not we will check. So this is my client, this is my service. I put the debugging service as well as client. Right now my client also running, and at present queue's number is 665. If I execute this code, my queue number should be increased 666 as well as it should come, the debugger will come and stop here. Once I complete this one, there is one file should create here. So in my client right now I am running that, continuing. This is done. Yeah, it came to the my service and stopped the debug. Let me go and see the go and see the queue. It is 665 now. Let me go and refresh it. I clicked F5. It increased to 666, means my message has reached to MSMQ. It right now it is in queue, and let me go and execute this. So my so everything has been done. Let me go and check my logger file in E drive. So it has also been created. Let me go and open that. So this is the information on my MSMQ has been sent. So let me, for understanding purpose, let me go and give the our meaningful name in console, our client. So I'm giving, this is MSMQ testing. Hello world. So this is the message I am passing to MSMQ. Let me go and run once again. Right now it is in 666 number in my queue, and it is with right now I debug my, it stopped in console application my client. So I'm going to hitting F5. So it is done. A service, the debug came to my service. I'm also hitting F5. Let me go and refresh my queue. It increased to 665. Let me go and check my file, log file. If you see here, this is the message I have given. This is MSMQ testing. Hello world, this is MSMQ testing. Guys, you understood, I hope you understood something about MSMQ and how we are going to create the MSMQ, and how we can use that MSMQ using WCF service and net MSMQ binding, and how we can consume the from the client. So this is my try to give my level best what I learned my recently for my project purpose. Thank you guys, thank you very much, have a nice day.
Thank you for watching my video. Please like it, share it and also subscribe my channel for more videos.